So first, the study compares the taxation system and zakat in an Islamic fiscal system. It's also focusing on their meanings, objectives, purposes, regulation sources, and conditions of zakatable assets, and also chargeability requirements and rate. It aims to raise Muslims' awareness and adherence to this system, such as promoting understanding of Islamic fiscal principle. So here is the first point, which is the definition of zakat. So what is zakat? Actually, zakat is an annual contribution from an individual's asset. Second, it's to prayer and for philanthropic and religious reason. It is one of the the 5 pillars of Islam, and it mentioned in Al-Quran for 32 times. The Sharia promotes zakat such as a socio-economic justice, promoting social cohesion and concerns of other well-beings. Let's move to tax definition. What is taxes? Taxes are financial fees that imposed by the government to cover public services and expenses. They are applicable to all citizens, regardless of religious belief. Tax also serve economic goals such as stabilizing the economy, redistributing income, and influencing action. They are crucial in determining national priorities and promoting growth. And it also sustainability and justice. So this part, I will explain a few objectives of zakat. Zakat is actually redistributing wealth, reduce the wealth gap, and zakat also serves as social justice, promoting charity spending, and zakat promotes economic circulation. Zakat also helps create a community that is more human and balanced. In other hands, the objectives of taxes are generating revenue for government financing, reducing income inequalities, and regulating economic activities. And it also controls inflation and influence consumer behavior. Other than that, it's also enforced by law for broader fiscal and social policy goals.
In Malaysia, zakat and tax are handled by 2 different systems. Zakat is managed by the states, while tax is controlled by the federal government. This is because Islamic matters, including zakat, fall under the state list in the Malaysian Constitution. Each state has its own zakat law. For example, in Selangor, zakat is governed by the Zakat and Fitrah Enactment 1999. State Islamic Religious Councils or SIRCs are given full authority to collect and distribute zakat. Some states even set up special bodies like Lembaga Zakat Selangor or PZS to manage zakat more efficiently. However, there's no single national zakat system, which means that rates, calculation methods, and who qualify to receive zakat may differ between states. Some experts think it will be better if zakat was more standardized across Malaysia. On the other hand, tax is handled by the federal government under the Income Tax Act 1967. The main agency in charge is the Lembaga Hasil Dalam Negeri (LHDN). Other tax law include the Sales and Service Tax, Real Property Gain Tax, and the Stamp Act. Taxpayer must report their income every year, and there are penalties if they don't. Muslim in Malaysia can use their zakat payment as a tax rebate. This means if they have paid zakat, they can deduct the same amount from their tax bill, which is more generous than other types of donation.
So, I will explain about selected organisation. So, our group choose for Pusat Zakat Selangor. Pusat Zakat Selangor is the official zakat collection and distribution agency in Selangor. It is established in 1994 under Majlis Agama Islam Selangor, MAIS. The mission is to reduce poverty, empower asnaf, and ensure transparent zakat management. It also provides digital services like e-zakat online, e-service, salary deduction, and e-wallets. Pusat Zakat Selangor also collected 505 million ringgit and distributed 521 million ringgit to asnaf. Next, zakat obligations and calculations. So, Pusat Zakat Selangor is a zakat administrator, not a zakat or taxpayer. And then, they calculates zakat on income, business, profit, gold, silver, savings, share, agriculture, and livestock. And then, the zakat rate in 2024 is 2.5% of wealth exceeding nisab, which is 85 grand of gold. And then it provides advisory services to businesses. And then zakat payments to Pusat Zakat Selangor are eligible for tax rebates under Income Tax Act 1967. Okay, so the last part is reporting and payment procedures. Firstly, zakat payments can be made via Pusat Zakat branches, salary deductions, authorized agent, and online platform. Zakat distribution also includes monthly financial aid, education support, business capital, and healthcare assistance. Pusat Zakat Selangor also submit audited annual reports to MAIS and relevant authorities. And the last part is recognized for efficient zakat management and digital excellence.
Okay, next I'll share about the challenges faced by Pusat Zakat Selangor in compliance and enforcement for 2024. So basically, Pusat Zakat Selangor is the main body that handles zakat collection and distribution in Selangor. They have a huge responsibility to help poor and support Islamic social welfare. But in 2024, they face two big challenges that make their job tougher. First one, there's the issue of companies not paying zakat. For example, Pusat Zakat Selangor found that more than 20 companies linked to GISB Holdings didn't pay any zakat at all. Worse, they didn't even submit details of their assets and liabilities. So, Pusat Zakat Selangor couldn't calculate how much zakat they were supposed to pay. Even though under the State Islamic Administration Encashment 2003, Pusat Zakat Selangor can actually take them to court or fine them, it is still hard to enforce without proper financial data. This shows that just having laws is not enough if companies are not transparent. In the end, it leads to less zakat collected, which means less funds to help those in need, and it also affects public trust in the whole zakat system. The second one is there's the challenge of managing zakat collection agents. Pusat Zakat Selangor has about 250 authorized agents who help collect zakat. Throughout 2024, they had to keep checking on these agents, reviewing their work, making sure they meet targets and protecting their reputation. Even though there were not any major misuse cases reported last year, Pusat Zakat Selangor still had to monitor them closely and even remove agents who didn't follow the rules. This constant supervision is important to safeguard the zakat money and maintain public confidence. But at the same time, it shows that Pusat Zakat Selangor needs to spend a lot of time and resources just to ensure these agents do their job properly. So, to sum up, in 2024, the two main challenges were companies not paying zakat and not being transparent, and also the need to strictly monitor a large number of zakat agents. Addressing this issue is very important to make sure zakat continues to reach the people who truly need it. Alright, now I want to share about some of the key assumption and incentive for zakat under Pusat Zakat Selangor. Basically, Pusat Zakat Selangor is the main body that handles collecting and distributing zakat in Selangor. To make it easier and more attractive for people and companies to pay zakat, they have a few incentives. The first one is the income tax rebate. In Malaysia, if we pay zakat on our income through official channels like Pusat Zakat Selangor, we actually get to reduce our income tax by the same amount. So, it is 100% rebate. For example, if someone has to pay 5,000 ringgit in tax but they have already paid 3,000 in zakat, then they only need to pay 2,000 more. It is a very good system because it helps us fulfill our religious duty while also lowering our tax. Meanwhile, for companies, there's also a rebate for them. They can get up to 2.5% off their business income tax if they pay zakat. So, this encourages both individuals and businesses to pay zakat properly under the law.
Okay, the second incentive is the salary deduction scheme. This is where employers have deduct zakat directly from their employee salary every month and send it straight to Pusat Zakat Selangor. It is really convenient because employees don't have to worry about paying separately. And to appreciate this effort, Pusat Zakat Selangor actually give an award called Muzaki Iktiraf to employers who actively support this program. More than 200 employers in Selangor, from private companies to government agencies, have already received this award. It is a nice way to show that the company cares about helping their Muslim staff meet their zakat obligations. It also improves the public image of these organizations. So overall, these tax rebates and the salary deduction program really help to reduce the financial burden of paying zakat. They also make it easier for people and companies to fulfill their responsibilities and at the same time help Pusat Zakat Selangor collect more funds to support social welfare and the poor in Selangor.
Next, let me introduce Encik Ami Farhan bin Rosman, our group individual taxpayer, a 30 years old man, work as junior executive at Pro Auto Engineering Sandian Berhad in Selangor. He is single and owns a Pro 2 Azia as well as Honda R15 motorcycle. Encik Ami earns 54,000 in annual salary plus 3,000 bonus and 6,000 from freelance design work. And his total income is 63,000. He qualifies for 25,390 in tax relief, including EPF, SOCSO, lifestyle, medical insurance, education fees, and zakat. After deduction, his chargeable income is 37,610, resulting in a tax payable of RM756.60. However, since he paid 1,500 in zakat, he received a full rebate, reducing his net payable to zero. For reporting and handling procedures, Encik Amir tax is handled monthly through the MTD system, with 100 deducted from his salary and paid to LHDNM. During tax season, he used the e-filing system to declare his full-time and freelance income, claim relief, and apply for the zakat rebate under Section 6A3. As a result, he pays no additional tax and receives a 1,200 refund. For zakat, Encik Amir pays RM125 monthly to Lembaga Zakat Selangor, and the total is 1,500 per year. And he used the zakat calculator to ensure accuracy, especially with his freelance income. By using both LHDNM and LZS digital platform, Encik Amir is able to meet his obligations effectively. There are several challenges faced by Encik Amir. The first one is declaring freelance income manually during e-filing can be confusing. He had to learn how to report it correctly to avoid underreporting. The second one is calculating zakat on mixed income is not always straightforward, especially when factoring in work-related expenses. There is also confusion around zakatable assets, such as whether his personal use motorcycle is subject to zakat or not. Another challenge is the lack of integration between LHDNM and LZS. And Encik Amir must manually upload zakat receipt to claim the rebate. Encik Amir benefits from several tax exemption and incentive, reducing his chargeable income and ultimately his tax payable to zero. His 1,500 zakat payment is fully credited as a rebate, and he received a refund of RM1,200 from Overpaid NTD. He also benefits from LZS digital service such as online payments, calculators, and monthly receipt, which help him stay compliant and organized. However, Encik Amir also miss out on other incentive because he has not contributed to a private retirement scheme, which could offer up to 3,000 in tax relief. He also didn't claim medical expenses for his parents and has not paid zakat on saving or investments such as tabung haji or ASP. So, in conclusion, Encik Amir's case reflects a balanced approach to both taxation and Islamic financial responsibility, while also highlight areas for improving through greater awareness and system integrations.
Now, let's compare Pusat Zakat Selangor and an individual like Encik Amir Farhan. PZS is a state zakat body. It doesn't pay zakat or tax because It's a non-profit religious institution. Instead, its job is to collect zakat from Muslim in Selangor and distribute it to those who qualify. Encik Amir, on the other hand, is a working professional. He pays zakat and income tax. His zakat, which come to Rm 1,500 per year, is deducted monthly from his salary. PZS help him calculate this and give official receipt for tax claim. His income is Rm 63,000 a year, but after applying EPF, SOKSO and zakat rebates, he doesn't need to pay any tax. In fact, he gets a refund of Rm 1,200 because of earlier salary deduction. However, both PZS and AME face challenges. PZS sometimes deal with business that don't share full financial info, and they have to monitor over 250 agents. AME challenge are different. He struggle with declaring freelance income, knowing which assets are zakatable, and uploading receipt when filing taxes online. So even though their roles are very different, both PZS and AME play an important part in Malaysia's zakat and tax system, and both face real challenge in making sure everything is done properly.
So this is the last part of this assignment, which is the conclusion. The assignment in Malaysia emphasizes the significance of zakat and tax in supporting the country. Pusat Zakat Selangor effectively manage zakat through digital system, such as salary deductions and tax rebates. However, issue persists requiring better education and digital support. Encik Amir Farhan's story demonstrates how he managed his duty using online tools. However, issues persist, such as companies not providing financial data and individuals manually uploading zakat receipts.